Today is a very pivotal day with Tucker here. I'm going to start doing some things that quite possibly could bring back the bucking and rearing. I hope it don't. If I've done my homework right, and if I think he's ready, which I think he is, we'll find out in a minute. Hopefully it won't come back. But if it does, then I'm going to have to back up and prepare him better. But we're going to see. So when he came, he was bucking and rearing, and it all went back to they were trying to jump him. He was inconsistent with his stride and his pace, so they would fall down on his back. When they'd fall down on his back, they would bump his face. And it was very unpleasant and somewhat painful for him with his back and his face. Since he's been here, I've been working him with some ground poles, sometimes with, sometimes without, getting him to basically just try to build confidence in my hands and my seat. So now what I'm going to do today, I'm going to start asking him to work on the bridle a little bit more. And by that, what I mean is I'm going to maintain a little bit of contact, and with my seat and my legs, I'm going to drive him forward. When he had this rearing problem and stuff, he was rearing because of the contact, because he didn't understand why he was getting bumped. He didn't understand why things were happening. I'm hoping that I have him prepared enough that even though he still might not understand how to get on the bridle, that it don't scare him. So what I'm going to start doing, I'm going to take a hold of my reins. We'll walk in this left circle, and I'm going to gradually get a little bit of contact on the bridle, a little bit of contact on the reins, squeeze my left fingers, and not where I want him yet, but I'm not just going to crank him in with my hands. I need to keep driving him forward with my legs. Every time I feel his rhythm start to kind of get inconsistent, I'm just going to expand my legs a little bit. Right there he's wanting a counter bend, so I'm going to take up my left rein a little bit more, add a little bit more left leg. A little touch with my left spur there. He kind of gave a little bit. There, we're getting there. Starting to get on the bridle and collected. Now, it's real important to note here. Now I'm going to release. It's real important to note that I'm not just cranking his head in with my hands. I'm not just pulling. I'm not seesawing. I'm not doing anything there to crank his head in. What I'm doing is setting the reins so that the place for him to get the release is to break at the pole and round his back, round his neck, round his back. And it's real important that in the process of doing this, I'm using my legs, my left leg or my right leg. I'll talk to you in a minute about when I use which and when I use both, because what you see going on in the front is really just a result of what's going on in his back and his hips. Set my hands, you look to the outside, a little bit of left rein, a little bit of left leg, get a little bit of bend, a little bit of both legs, hold it, and release. Hold it a stride or two. Gradually, as he gets more confident, I'll hold it a little bit longer. So, why do we need this? I've talked a lot about getting the horse round, getting their back right, building the muscles right. He's going to be a jumping horse. So he needs to be able to round his back, load weight on his back end, so that he can push with his back end to go over the jump. That's where his power comes from with the push. And if he is nose out, inverted in his back, heavy on the front end, he might get the front end over, he's not going to get the back end over. So let's bring my reins in again, collect my reins. A little bit of left rein, left leg. Left rein, left leg. I'll talk to you a little bit about this circle that I'm doing. This is always easiest to start on a circle. Left rein, left leg. He brought it in, but he held it longer than that last time. Just hold it just a little bit. Lift your back, a little bit of right leg there. Put it right there. We go. I felt the back lift. He didn't really bring his nose in, but I felt the back lift. Left leg, right leg, and release. Much better. It took him a little longer to get it in. He held his frame better, and I felt his back lift. I felt this part back here working better. And if you notice, as I've been riding him, he's developing a better free walk. He's walking out, just kind of stepping without a whole lot of hesitation. Once in a while, he'll get a little heavy on his front end, get a little hesitant. Now I'm changing directions. So working this in a circle instead of working it in a straight line. So if I'm going a straight line and his head is straight and I'm trying to work him on the bit, what's going to happen is I am dealing with a straight neck here, and it's a lot harder to get that straight neck and straight back round than it is to get a curved back round. So if I get his back round, I talked a couple of times about he was counterbend, and I don't want him to counterbend. I want the arc of his spine to match the arc of the circle we're on. If I get his spine in that arc, and then with my legs, I ride him up, ask his back end to engage, but I set my hands, then he will come on the bit, come on the bridle, get collected, and hold that a little longer each time. Now him, Jackson, Riley, I'm working basically the same body position in all three horses, but I'm working it 3 different ways because each horse needs it a little bit different. For 3 different reasons. I'd rather just walk right now. We'll probably trot in a minute. I set these poles out just in case I started losing my forward. I could go over those poles. He always gets more forward going over ground poles. This, asking him to round up and ride on the bit, is going to take some go out of him. Usually, he's maintaining his go pretty good. Let's go ahead and ask for the trot. That transition was actually not too bad. Now see how we're trotting? Head come up, nose come out. He's having a harder time holding this together at a trot than he is walk. Well, we'll challenge it at a trot a little bit. Right rein, right leg is really falling there. And we go right rein, right leg. Right rein, right leg. I'd like to get his nose up, his shoulders up, his nose in. This right shoulder really pushing hard. Let's go back to walk. Let's get this shoulder out. You can see the counter bend in his head because his head goes to the outside. Let's ease up here. But it's the shoulder that's actually the issue. There we go. Now you're going to see me do a couple of different things with my hands. I'm going to start coming up with my hands. It's going to help me get him a little bit more round as far as he's going to need to put a little more effort into it. Right there, see how his head's kind of bouncing around. Come up. Right rein, right leg. Get soft. Let's go the other direction again. There we go. A nice change of direction. Lost our bend. See, when we changed directions, we had good bend, and then when I came out bigger, we lost our bend. It's a lot easier to get this on the bit, working on the bridle, in a bend to start with. I've worked this before with some other horses, and somebody always comments about I should be posting, and should not be posting, because if I'm posting, I'm not using my legs to put his body where it needs to be to help him. Let's go back to a walk again. I need to sit this and use my legs to help him. When he starts holding it together, then you can start posting. At this point, he can't hold it together at all on his own, so I'm not going to just throw him away and expect him to. All right, let's go back to trot. Left rein, left leg. Get soft with my hand. Left rein, left leg again. Soft with my hands. It's better this direction. Go back the other way. So you want to lean on the right. Let's go back to a walk. Get the right shoulder up. All right, I'm using a pretty good bit of spur right here behind the girth. There we go. This is his weaker side. Push the shoulder over. Now I'll just let him free walk for a minute. No, got to keep walking. So up until this point, with all my riding, it's basically just been with my hands point the nose, with my legs say go. Done a little bit of leg yield, a little bit of bend, counter bend, but it's mostly just been point the nose and go. And I've talked about that going over the ground poles. And I did that to start building his confidence in the rider's hands and the rider's seat. And now he seems like he's got pretty decent confidence. He don't totally understand what I'm asking for, but he never did act like he wanted to have basically a PTSD flashback to the poor memories that he had before. Basically at this point, I'm working with any other horse that needs to learn this part of the training. So if you have any questions, put it in the comments. If this is the first time you've seen Tucker, you might want to look at his playlist. He came from a really bad situation. He was rearing up, bucking. It was really bad. So I'll have a link to that playlist somewhere here. Until next time, thank you for watching.